On a forum, somebody said when they email they always get a question back. In a sensible world, you would just go to the government website to find the laws on electrically assisted pedal C things. What does that mean? That's what these things are called. EAPC, electrically assisted pedal cycles. Electrically assisted pedal cycles. So that's what you're wanting, so that you don't need to, you're not classed as a motorbike and that. And you would think going to the government website in the UK, that would be it all over. No, that's just the start of your thingy. The government website says it's got to be pedal assist only to 25 kilometers per hour, then it should cut out. That's 15.5 miles per hour. The motor should be 250 watt max, but it doesn't say anything about continuous or peak. The government website doesn't say anything about a throttle, but you're to presume you're not to have a throttle at all. And curiously, the government website tells you your motor must show its power or brand, and the battery must show its voltage or brand. So if you look at the government website, you think, okay, that's it. But then you start looking in places like Bike Radar and that, and you see actually there's what could be classed as loopholes really. For a start motor, the 250 watt max thing of the law refers to continuous, whereas it seems that you can have a peak of higher, or so the Bike Radar website's saying. But I would just be looking for 250 watt max. I don't know about peak. Is this why people are getting about with 1000 watt motors? But for sure, the continuous thing must be 250 watts max in the UK. Then there's this throttle thing. That's basically where you're using it like a motorbike, where you don't pedal at all. A lot of the kits, like this one included, they have what's known as walk start throttles, which can only go up to 6 kilometers per hour max. And there's one supplied with this YOSE Power one. And Bike Radar, I think, says that you can in the UK have a throttle as long as it only goes up to 6 kilometers per hour. This is regarded as a walk start assistance. It's meant for people that are, have struggle to start pedaling, and so you're allowed to use this throttle. And you can maybe use it when you're walking in walk mode. That's another name that's referred to. At the moment, there's nothing about this on the government website I could see. So it's up to yourself. So in summary, it's as clear as mud. If you want to be an electrically assisted pedal cycle, and you don't want to be a pedelec or a pedelec, which is basically where you become a motorbike, a bike that becomes a motorbike. Because if you become a pedelec, you need to be insured, you need to have a license, driving license, all those sort of things that apply to a motorbike. You need to wear a helmet, etc. It would be good if they put a leaflet in each box, about the laws of your country. Here's just 2 points of interest I noted. Torque, that's where you get that sort of, power. I think the usual is 40, is that nanometers? I don't know, 40 Nm torque. Whereas in really big ones it's 60 to 85. But for most kits it'll probably be 40. And I think it is that on this one. Battery. This is the integrated controller. It's here. So you've not got a silver box like you usually have with e-kits. That's done away with. So it's integrated, and that'll go on your bottle cage and your down tube. Your bottle cage screws, 5 pins. On most e-bike conversion kits at the moment, you'll see a silver box that looks like a heat sink box, but that's what this is here. It's integrated. That's one less thing to clog up, because usually those boxes, they usually keep them in bags like these, which came free. But that means I don't need to. It's one thing less to bother about. So with UK law, you need to have either the brand name or the voltage of the battery. This one's 36 volts. So I've got the brand name here. I presume that's so that the police can instantly know what it is. The page where this kit is listed on AliExpress, it says that the battery brand is Halong Plus, which would explain that. And that. I think that's the official product code for the battery. Official weight is 4 kilograms. Seems about right. Front wheel with 250 watt motor. It's quite heavy. It's for V-brakes or disc. You can fit either. You need to supply your own disc brake if you're going to use a disc. For V-brakes, it's machined there, so it'll work with V-brakes. Aluminium and double walled inside. For UK law, it needs to show the wattage. I guess they can work it out from there, but it's not that clear. 250 watts. I think the website said 12 spokes on each side or something, but I counted 36 of these things, but I don't know. 19mm inside, which is good for sort of road bikes, hybrid bikes. I don't know about mountain bikes and that, but this is a 700C wheel. I would call it 622mm, but they still call it the old 700C or 28 inch. Can't find an easy way to measure it, but you get the idea. It keeps rolling off. I'd say about 3.6 kilograms. No hands. Wheel size 622mm by 19mm wide, otherwise known as 700C. That's the diameter, not the width, just 700C, otherwise known as 28 inch and possibly otherwise known as 29 inch. It's very confusing. These two measurements are road bike type, so I would go for 622mm. That's the diameter from, I think, the inside of the wheel to the other side, inside of the wheel on the other side. 700C is an archaic thing, you know, from 100 years ago. And then mountain bikes went with inches, and they went with 28 inch and 29 inch, I think, which possibly are the same. I don't really know. It's definitely 28 inch because that's what it was listed on the website. The 19mm refers to the internal width here, and I would say that's for a road bike and for anything up to, say, 35mm wide tyre for sure, probably even higher than that. With mountain bike types, you know, they go way up higher, the width of their tyres, 50mm or whatever, so I don't know if it would fit them, but probably it would. I think 19mm is pretty regular, standard now for road bike types and anything like that, hybrid types are taking tyres up to 35mm. So it's double walled, which is really good, and you would put your rim tape in there so that because it's not tubeless, I presume, so you would need to put a tubed thing in. It says alloy, which I take to mean aluminium, and I think that's what it's listed as. So that's good. And that must be the type of alloy. 6061T6. All in, it looks a really good wheel. This must be the brand name, I think. Is that HJC? And this must be the name of the wheel, maybe. Centennial. Of course, it's got a great big motor in the middle, so it's not just an ordinary wheel. I think most disc brakes come with these sort of 6 screws that you fix, so it should be pretty easy to put any disc brake on. And don't forget to put it only one way, forward. You don't want to go in reverse. If you're using a disc brake, it'll be pretty obvious because you can only fit the disc brake on one side. Not so obvious for a V-brake. It's for wheel forks of 100mm. That's from there to there. So that's where it'll fit in. And I think that's a pretty standard setting because whenever you buy wheels of the right diameter, they usually fit, don't they? So 100mm from there to there, the fork. But don't quote me on that, saying most wheels are that size. The diameter is officially 130mm. I think you fit one of these on, the fork is in between these 2 washers. That one's a special one there. I presume you can't put quick release stuff in here. These are really heavy duty. I haven't done this. This is my first e-bike, so yeah, this is all pretty heavy duty. The washer's got a bit that juts it. I won't be changing them. I'm sure this is typical, it's got some sort of springy protector there. Only seems to move one way, I'm not sure. Forward, probably. The AliExpress listing says 40nm torque or whatever they call it. So 40, pretty typical. That's okay. I presume it's not tubeless ready, but I don't actually know. 6km/h maximum thumb throttle goes in your handlebar. Couldn't see anything on the official government page, which is, you know, the simple rules. So, but other people are saying, like in Bike Radar and that, since 2016, throttles have been banned except ones under 6km/h to give you a start, and it's meant for people who might struggle to start, and some people call it walk mode. So go to 6km/h, which is walking pace really, and then it'll cut it. But if it is meant just for starting, I mean, that would be quite useful on a hill and stuff, I would have thought, you know, a really steep hill. You can just go to throttle. So my thing about the law on this in the UK is yes but no, but yes but no. I don't know. My official stance is I don't know, but I think so. Pedal assist sensor. This goes on your crank on your left side. So you'll need to take the crank in that side off, which is a bit of a nuisance. I know that on the Switch bikes kit, they don't. They've sort of got a thing that clips around there, but the Switch kit is a lot less powerful in terms of battery storage than this one, and it's dearer. And it's always sold out. So this stops you going faster than, say, 25km/h on pedal assist. It'll cut your battery out, and you'll probably use a tool like this to thing it. This came with it, the kit. It looks a bit complicated to me from what I've seen. It's the most complicated part that I could, at least visually, because you do something like screw that bit out and then screw this bit in, I don't know. or vice versa. But you'll get the hang of it. It should fit most cranks, most modern ones. Apparently this won't fit Holotech 2 Shimano type cranks. For that you'll need to buy another one from their website. 12 signal output. Here's the main set of cables, and with this having an integrated controller, it's not got that silver box you see in other e-bike kits listed. I don't know if that means there's any less connections, but probably not, but it should all be easier anyway. So that's your main bit of cable, and lots of cable ties. A light, it's 30 lux, I won't be fitting it. So I'll need to cover up whatever it attaches to. Guessing, is it that? Nah, I don't think so. I picked the wrong one. Yeah, can't give in. Brakes, Waxing brand. These don't work with hydraulic brakes. You would need to order a different one from the YOSE website, or any other compatible one from anywhere. I might not put these on. I've seen others not put them on. Although I might, because they look decent quality. But it cuts out the battery when you brake, which makes sense, but a lot of people don't seem to bother with it. So I might not, at least to start with. And there's where you'll put your standard brake cable. That's going to an electrical connection. So on some e-bike kits you need to have everything connected for the LED display to work, but from what I've seen other people using the YOSE Power one, that's not the case. So if you don't want to use your brake or your light, you don't want to connect them, I think you should be alright, but don't quote me on that. Okay. Is that all Allen key? Yeah. You get two, of course. Waxing. Allen keys. I don't know what these are. I think they're fixings for the battery, and these might be fuses or something. Apparently you want to know if these are round or other type. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. The display, 3.5 inch apparently. I'm calling it 8 centimeters in my language. So it's got 5 assists modes. Looks pretty good to me. All is well. Oh, you go in there, maybe. Looks like 5-pin. Charger. It's a 42 volt output charger at 2 amps. To you it's just a box, nothing special by the looks. I'll go to the battery, and that'll go to your plug. 3-pin, just the usual. Service security card. 18 months warranty. I think it's got a 30-day return thing as well if you don't want, but don't quote me on that if you just don't like it. 2 pages about the, oh, that's about the battery charger. I thought it was about the, yeah, that's what I thought it was about. I don't think, they're just black boxes to us, isn't they? They just magically work. That might be useful. And a free bag which you put on with Velcro strips. You'd be surprised how useful these things are. On most current e-bike kits, you put your controller in here. I don't think Switch use they've got an integrated controller as well, so they don't use, but most kits that look like this, they've got a controller that looks like a heatsink, a big heatsink thing, and you need to put it in a bag like this. But with this, you can just use this for anything, but it's not waterproof. I wonder if this is from the days when the controller went in there to let the cable through. Alright guys, I've done all I can. Did I tell you that I don't know what I'm talking about? I forgot to say that. But also, I want to say, if you see an affiliate link, possibly if you go through that, like some people have them on YouTube and things, you might get another £10 off. From what I saw in prices, the cheapest place was the YOSE Power website, and that could be like £40, £50, maybe even more. This is currently about £445 on Amazon and eBay, and I got it for £373. If I'd went through an affiliate link, it would possibly have been £363. This sort of front motor thing is dearer. Amazon have got a deal on the 26-inch back wheel at the moment, including battery, I think, and that's like £305. But I think that's a Black Friday deal, so you're not going to get that. But that wheel seems to be cheaper anyway, the rear wheels, I think. I picked a front wheel because I can remove it and put an ordinary wheel on, you know, that sort of stuff, just for ease. So that's it guys, it looks like a well put together kit. And remember, stay legal, over 14s only. No, I'm talking about us, by the way. Yeah, alright, goodbye. Stay legal guys, stay legal. Electrically assisted pedal cycle. Simples, not a pedelec. Breaking news, the charge time apparently is 7 hours. I take it that's from 0 to 100. And there's no memory effect. It said something like, so if you charge when it's at 70%, that's better than charging at 10%. I don't know what it's talking about, but yeah, you're looking at 7 hours charge time.